You're right guys, Clinicality here, and today I am back bringing you another FIFA 16 Ultimate Team Player review. This time we are reviewing the second in-form Ben Yedder after he scored 2 goals and got 2 assists in Toulouse's 4-0 win over Bastia last weekend. Now on screen you can see the team that we used him in. It wasn't the best team I've ever used, and I'm sure you guys could definitely build a better squad around Ben Yedder yourselves. Now in terms of the player instructions that we went with, I did change one of them, and that was to tell him to get in behind. He's only 5'7" and he is really quick, so obviously I don't want him on the end of crosses. I want him to abuse his pace, get in behind the defence so I can play some through balls and get him through on goal. And if you're going to play him in a 2-striker formation, definitely recommend that you put that on him. As always, we played 6 games. Now it says 7. One of the games, the guy quit within the first 5 minutes, and so I did play another one. But that is essentially 9 goals and 2 assists in 6 games, which is pretty good. And he only cost us 50,000 coins, and at the time of making this video, he's actually dropped to just over 40k on both consoles, which is really nice. Now onto his base stats, he has 84 pace, 86 dribbling, 85 shooting, 36 defending, 82 passing, and 70 physical. Onto the in-game stats now, and he has some really well-rounded stats. I mean, 94 agility, 91 jumping, really standing out to me, but there are so many good greens there. Skill attributes exactly the same, nearly all of them are green. 90 finishing though is the main standout on that page there, and 84 dribbling isn't too bad either. He is 5'7", he can play striker or centre forward, right-footed, high medium work rates, 5-star weak foot and 4-star skills, and he has the acrobat speciality and the flair trait. Jumping into the clips now, and I want to start off with talking about that flair trait. Now usually when playing FIFA, I'm not one of those people who tries to skill their way through the entire team. Yes, I like to add a little bit of flair to my play, but for some reason when using this card, I use that flair trait all the time. I was pulling off back heels, I was trying all sorts of stuff. And I must say the flair trait came in really handy, and combined with that he obviously has 4-star skill moves, meaning he can pull off a load of tricks. So if you ever find him in a bit of a tricky situation, you can easily skill your way out of it. And if you combine his skill moves and the flair trait with his incredible dribbling stats, and the fact that he has a godly first touch, his dribbling is so hard to deal with. He can just turn past anyone. 94 agility was massive on him. And overall, dribbling with this guy was just so easy, and he just felt so responsive. Now another thing that really stood out on his card was his passing. Most strikers on this game can play decent short passes, but their long passing lets them down. But Ben Yedder can play any type of pass, and they were all perfectly weighted and right to where I wanted them. And one of the biggest parts about his passing is his 5-star weak foot, because he can play passes with both feet. And I must say his weak foot felt almost just as good as his favoured foot for both passing and also for shooting. His close range finishing is okay, but his long shots are really good. And so for me, yes, he was a good striker, but I think he would be so much better suited to a cam or centre forward role because he can dribble, he can take long shots, and his passing is incredible. Those 3 stats on an attacking mid would be superb. Now his pace is pretty good as well. He was certainly able to outpace a few players, definitely not the fastest in the game however. But one of his weaknesses definitely had to be his strength. He did not feel strong at all, and he did seem to get shrugged off the ball fairly often. That is however, if they can get near him, because his dribbling was so good that a lot of the time he didn't even need to go shoulder to shoulder because he just dribbled his way past the players instead. Now the one thing that really let me down on his card though was his inconsistency. 3 of the games he was absolutely superb. The other 3 however, not so much. He did have a lot of quiet periods in the game, and so on his day he is magnificent, but he just didn't turn up every single game, and for me that is pretty disappointing. Now over the 6 games that we played, he picked up an average match rating of 8.0, and for a player who scored 9 goals in those 6 games, that is really low, and as I said, that is because of his inconsistency. Yes, some games he'll get you 9.6s, 9.7s, but other games he was getting like 6s and 7 ratings. And that's why the average match rating is so low, because half the games he just didn't turn up. Now under pros, I've got his dribbling. As I said, absolutely incredible dribbling. Combine that with his first touch and his 4-star skill moves, and he has perfect control over the football. 5-star weak foot, always nice to have on any player, one of my favourite attributes to see on a card. Passing, again absolutely superb. And lastly, his long shots. It wasn't because I scored an awful lot of them, but they did feel really good, and I definitely can see you guys scoring a lot of long shots with him. Under cons, we got his strength, the only real stat on his card that let him down. And then lastly, we have inconsistency, because in my opinion, it is the biggest part of his card, and the sole reason that stops him from going from being a good player to an incredible player. With consistency, this guy would be incredible. With that in mind, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Really, really technically good. Feels great when you're on the ball with him, but as I say, he just doesn't turn up enough, and some games he can be really, really quiet. That being said, however, I reckon you should move him to Cam. He has all of the stats that you need for a good attacking midfielder. He'll be right in the middle of the pitch and therefore get the ball a lot, and as I said, when this guy's on the ball, he knows what to do with it. And as always, if you guys do decide to go and pick him up, let me know down in the comment section how you got on with him, especially if you decide to put him at Cam or centre forward. I'd really like to see how he performs in that position. Other than that though, if you guys did enjoy this video or found it helpful, a like would be much appreciated. Subscribe if you want to see more. I have brand new FIFA content every single week, so stay tuned on my channel for that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.